Project Ukko, we have created a visualization and user interface for advances in probabilistic forecast developed by IC3 as part of the resilience prototype of the Euporias project.
In this case, the idea was to provide information about wind energy production in the coming months, which is relevant for the wind energy industry itself, but more widely for the entire energy sector.
Over the last months, we have been working with Future Everything and with Moritz Stefaner on making a visualization that has a different approach on how to show strongly scientific data to the users.
There are new and increasing requirements to communicate complex and uncertain information among the scientific community, from scientists to industry, and from industry to consumers.
Somebody on a trading floor being able to better understand whether they should buy more wind energy in a period. This has an influence on the world around us in quite a practical way.
Project Ukko presents a completely new way to look at seasonal wind predictions. It's a world map with a data overlay. The thickness of the lines indicates the predicted wind speeds in a region. The predictive skill of our model is shown in the opacity of these symbols. Bright, very visible lines mean our model has been very useful in this region in the past, but we don't show any symbols if no useful prediction can be made. Finally, the most probable trend of the wind speed is encoded in the color and rotation of the lines. Yellow lines pointing upwards indicate an expected increase in the winds of that region, and blue lines pointing downwards, lower winds. For instance, in this region in Malaysia, we have good indication that the west coast will experience stronger winds compared to the past, whereas we have the opposite trend on the east coast. You can also visualize the amount of wind power installed. As a result, you can easily search for spots where we predict substantial changes in wind strengths, but there's also a lot of wind farms. If you select one of the regions, you can get detailed information on the past observations and the future predictions. From a design point of view, the biggest challenge was really the amount of information. Hundreds of thousands of points with 51 predictions each and 20 years of observations. I mean, how do you distill all this into a meaningful display? The solution we came up with, we think, draws the attention to relevant, really interesting spots on the map, and at the same time gives you access to all these little individual data points that make up those aggregate numbers. And we think both of this is really needed to make the underlying complexities, but also uncertainties, immediately accessible and workable for our users.
The visualization can close the gap between users and scientists and set a step to a more closer interaction.
The interactive visualization and user interface creates new accessibility and readability to climate forecast information to enable effective decision-making by industry users.
We design it to be as engaging and interesting as possible, but I see this as the beginning of a journey rather than the end. It's the beginning of a new journey with the users that can take inspiration and take the lesson we learn through the project and develop their own prototype, their own services.